Hi there. Today is Friday, May 20th, 2022, and I forgot to record this morning for one class, and there's somebody else who's going to have to miss part of class today. So why don't you take advantage of this opportunity to learn by watching this video that's made just for the two of you. So the first thing we did at the beginning of class is we looked over the part of the workbook on the verb faire. So I would love, if you haven't done section 7 yet, please pause the video and do it, okay? And so we just go through and we conjugate it, tu fais. But what happened here? Why didn't I conjugate it here? It's the two-verb construction. On va faire les courses. Same down here, tu aimes faire les courses alors. It's the two-verb construction. Tu aimes, you like, faire, to do the shopping, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is these weird idiomatic expressions. If you think about it, in English, it's pretty weird that we say, I am taking French. What do you mean taking? Where are you taking it? I am taking French. We are taking geometry. We do the same thing in French. Je fais du français means I am taking French. It looks like I make some French, but it means I do some French. But that's how you say I'm taking French. We're taking geometry. Nous faisons de la géométrie. That's how you say we're doing geometry. So look here, give personal answers, use complete sentences. Qu'est-ce que tu fais comme langue? Du français, de l'espagnol? And you answer, je fais du français. Or you answer, et tes copains, qu'est-ce qu'ils font comme langue? You could say, ils font de l'espagnol. They are taking Spanish. Je fais du français, I am taking French. Qu'est-ce que vous faites en maths? De l'algèbre, de la géométrie, de la trigonométrie? You answer, je fais du calcul. I'm doing calculus. I hope not. Or, je fais de l'algèbre. I'm doing algebra. Je fais de la géométrie. Okay? All right, and then we moved on to the next part of the class, a really big thing, and this is what I don't want you to miss. We are talking about the articles, okay? So let's just look together. We've got, I'm going to put some masculine, feminine, plural. Okay, so how do we say the? We've learned before that you say le or L apostrophe if it starts with a vowel or H, la or L apostrophe if it starts with a vowel or H, or les, right, to do plural. If we want to say a, an, or one, oops, we say un, une. What does des mean? It means some, a, an, one, but that's the plural and it means some, okay? And then most recently, we learned these partitive articles that mean some. So we have du or de L apostrophe, and we use de L apostrophe if the next word is a vowel or H. We have de la or de L apostrophe if the next word starts with a vowel or H. So if it starts with a vowel or H, you don't have to decide whether it's feminine or not, or masculine or not, because it starts with a vowel or H, you know it's going to be L apostrophe. All right, so having looked at that, having understood that little chart, let's look for a minute. If I gave you a paragraph and said, you can use any kind of article you want, fill in the blanks with the right kind of article. So how are you going to do that? I'm going to give you a little flow chart, okay? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to say, am I wanting to say the or the? If so, use le, la, apostrophe, or les, okay? Does it follow a verb of preference? What is verb of preference? Do you remember? Préférer, aimer, adorer, détester, right? Those are verbs of preference. Does it follow a verb of preference? If so, use le, la, l'apostrophe, les. Yeah. Oops. I don't like that. Okay. We're going to do this. Now, say it, you're not wanting to say the, and it doesn't follow verb of preference. So the next thing is, am I wanting to say a, an, or one? If you're wanting to say a, an, or one, then you're going to use un or une. That's easy. Okay? Am I wanting to say some? Ah, now this is interesting. Okay? If the answer is yes, if you can count it, use des. That didn't work. If you can't count it, use du, de la, or de l'apostrophe, de le, okay? And that's how simple it is, okay? So let's take a little peek at something. Let us see how badly we can mess up the inserting a text box. Insert a text box. Insert, where'd it go? A text box, text box. Okay, let's see if we can do this. And I want to insert a bunch of these. Copy, copy, copy. Okay, they go all over the place, don't they? Okay, we're going to do this. Guess I should have done this before. Sorry, guys. You might as well, while you're watching me do this, you might as well get started on this and see if you can do better than me. All right. Thank you for your patience. Sorry they're not all lined up. I know it'll drive you crazy. So if you have something in the workbook that looks like this, decide le partitif or the article défini. So what's the partitive? Do you guys remember what the partitive is? The partitive is that du, de la thing, right? Ooh, this is why I'm doing text boxes. My trackpad isn't working very well right now. Okay, and the definite article is le, la, les. Now, if you ever have a test, I will not make you have to figure out what definite article means or partitive article means. I would always give you examples up above. Okay, so if you're saying, I like cheese, j'aime, I like cheese, this is a verb of preference. Therefore, you're going to say j'aime le, oops, that's not working.
Attention.
Sorry, we're having a thunder.
We are still under a weather alert for lightning in the area and are instituting shelter-in-place procedures. Students, you stay in your class that you are in now, period 6, and we will update you when we get an update. Thank you.
Okay, j'aime le fromage, l'agneau. All right, so what's hard here? What's hard here is that you have to remember that this is le, this is l'apostrophe, okay? And that's a little bit harder because you're being asked to bring in what you've been learning in class. Okay, les crevettes, and I did not spell that right. Okay. Le lait, you know what? I'm going to just make life a little bit easier. I'm going to do this. Le lait, I wonder if that'll work. Get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Yes, I'm going to make this. This would have been a much smarter idea. Oh well. Le lait, la limonade, and les légumes. Légumes means vegetables, all right? Okay, so because there was a verb of preference for each of those, you had to use le, la, les, and you had to know the gender. Unless, of course, if it ends in an S, you know it's plural and you're going to use les. But now if you're saying I buy, here the meaning is going to be I buy some, okay? So how do you say I buy some cheese? J'achète, sorry, du fromage. J'achète de l'agneau. You know what? And I realized this wasn't very clear. I should have written here, j'aime le fromage. J'aime, oops, l'agneau, right? So that's, because you have a verb of preference, you're always going to use le, la, or les. And if it ends in an S, you know you're going to use les. You don't have to think about what the gender is. Somebody in class asked a great question. They said, can it ever be plural if you don't have an S? And the answer is no. If you don't have an S, it's not plural. Okay, so let's do this. J'achète de l'agneau. Okay, j'achète de l'agneau. I didn't mean to do that. J'achète des crevettes. J'achète, what are we going to say here? Du lait. Okay, so crevette is plural and we mean some. And remember, if we want to say some, that's nice thunder, isn't it? If we want to say some, we use des if we can count it. If we want to say some and you can't count it, you use du, de la, or de le. Okay, you are getting all the noises in the world today, aren't you? J'achète du lait. J'achète de la limonade. J'achète des légumes. So what happened here? Why did we use, what's going on with that? I'm missing my limonade. There we go. Why do we have le and du and L apostrophe but de le? Because here we mean, there's a verb of preference, so we have to use le, la, les. Here we mean some. I buy some cheese. Or just, I buy cheese. I buy lamb. I buy shrimp. I buy milk. All right. So, do you guys, here, let's do this. Do you remember this table? Oh, that looks really attractive. Let's do this. Remember this table? We did it up above. What happens when it's negative? And this is a new thing that we learned today. It's something you do not know yet. What happens when it's negative? Well, you guys remember, un, une, and des become de in a negative construction. So we already know that this becomes de in a negative construction, right? Yay, you remember that. What happens to le, la, les? Nothing, right? I say, j'aime le chocolat. Je n'aime pas le chocolat. Nothing happens. Nothing happens to le, la, les in a negative construction. Nothing happens. Well, guess what? In a negative construction, these partitive articles du and de la become de. Okay? Just like with un, une, and des. Okay, so un, une, and des, otherwise known as partitive articles, become de in a negative construction. So we're going to try this again, only we're going to be much more skilled. Insert. Where's my text box? Right down here. I'm going to insert one text box here. And I'm going to insert another. No, don't you dare. And I'm going to insert another text box here. And we're going to practice this new skill. Okay? So here's our new skill. Yay. Je n'aime pas. I don't like cheese. Je n'aime pas le fromage. So nothing happens to le lait in a negative construction. Je n'aime pas l'agneau. Nothing happens to le lait in a negative construction. Je n'aime pas les crevettes. I don't like shrimp. I don't like milk. Je n'aime pas le lait. I don't like lemon lime soda. Je n'aime pas la limonade. I don't like vegetables. Je n'aime pas les légumes. Okay? And then here, I don't buy. Now, what do we mean? We're using the negative. If I said I'm buying some milk or I'm buying milk, I'm buying cheese, how do you make that negative? I don't buy milk or I don't buy any milk. We are going to basically, if you would say this, you would say j'achète du lait. Oh my Lord. J'achète du lait. J'achète du lait. I buy milk or I buy some milk. So how do you make it negative? You say, sorry, je n'achète pas de lait. And that means I don't buy milk or I don't buy any milk. I'm going to cross this out so that you know this is not really what we're doing. But I'm going to leave it there so you can sort of remember where we came from on this one. Je n'achète pas de lait. Okay, so now, I don't know why I started with milk. Let's change this to fromage. And let's change that to fromage. So our du here turned into de here. All right? So now we're going to say je n'aime pas l'agneau. Je n'achète pas d'agneau. So I don't buy any lamb. I don't like lamb. My computer's going crazy. Je n'aime pas l'agneau. I don't like lamb. Therefore, je n'achète pas d'agneau. Let's see if I can make this work a little better. And then you don't have to watch me do this every time. Je n'achète pas de crevettes. Je n'achète pas de lait. Je n'achète pas de limonade. Oh, I'll bet you've been staring at my typo, hating on me. There we go. Je n'achète pas de limonade. And if I could get my cursor there, that would make me very happy. Nope, Sheila. Je n'achète pas de légumes. Okay? So basically, you're saying, je n'aime pas l'agneau, je n'aime pas les crevettes. In these circumstances, you're using le lait because you're using a verb of preference. And on the other side, you're saying any. I don't buy any milk. I don't buy any cheese. All right? Now, you will have another chance to ask me about these in class. And then the last thing we did in class today is I taught you guys a really great verb. The verb is vouloir. And let's just give it to you on a new page. Here's the verb vouloir. Super wonderful verb. It means to want. And je veux, tu veux, il veut, elle veut, on veut. They all sound alike. Je veux, tu veux, il veut. Nous voulons. That sure sounds different. Vous voulez. Oops. Ils veulent. Elles veulent. Okay? So this one sounds different, and this is kind of predictable, isn't it? Have you guys got used to the fact that oftentimes the nous and the vous are different? They just don't fit into that boot, do they? Okay? Je veux, tu veux, il veut, elle veut, on veut, and then nous voulons, vous voulez, ils veulent. Oh Lord. Sorry. Ils veulent. So let's look. I can say je veux un sandwich. Je veux un sandwich. I want a sandwich. I could also say je veux manger un sandwich. Je veux manger un sandwich. What happened here? Here you just have one verb, but look at that. We've got verb 1, verb 2. So vouloir is frequently used in the two-verb construction. Elles veulent chanter. They want to sing. You know, it occurs to me that there's one other thing we did in class. There was one last thing we did in class with this stuff. And once I'm done writing this and recording this video, I'll also send you this to have. So let me find what we did in the workbook that you haven't done yet. Nope, not this. There was one other little thing for you to look at. Oh, this! Okay, let me just throw this in. You guys are gonna go, oh my God, that is so easy. There we go. So, draw that. This, we'll do it in, let's do it in fuchsia. That's a nice color. Okay, where'd it go? Okay, so you're just supposed to just use the partitive in the negative, but guess what? It's not always negative. So you're gonna say, I'm trying to use the partitive. I'm trying to use this. Okay, on a des œufs. Mais on n'a pas de lait. Now, why am I saying de? Because it's a negative construction. We have eggs, or we have some eggs, but we don't have milk, or we don't have any milk. So this could mean some, or it could just mean nothing. This could mean any. My computer's going crazy. On n'a pas de lait. It could mean we don't have milk, we don't have any milk. On a des tomates. You can count tomatoes. That's why we're using des for some. On a des tomates, mais on n'a pas, can you help me? D'oignon. It starts with a vowel or H, so we use D apostrophe. We have salt, but we don't have any pepper, or we have some salt, but we don't have any pepper. It's a negative construction, so we're using de. On a, this is a harder one. Look, it starts with a vowel or H. On a de, that didn't happen very nicely. On a de l'huile, mais on n'a pas de, that's an E, I promise. On n'a pas de vinaigre. Now here they tricked you. This is really bad. She wants a ham sandwich. It's a total trick. Elle veut un sandwich au jambon, mais on n'a pas de pain. See, aren't you glad you're not at school today? Because you'd be stuck somewhere because of the lightning. That doesn't look very good. Let's do it again. Elle veut un sandwich au jambon, mais on n'a pas de pain. You want to eat some chicken, but we don't have any chicken. So what are you going to do? Tu veux manger du poulet, mais on n'a pas de poulet. All right, thank you so much for listening to a very long video. I hope this helps you, and I'm sorry that I forgot to record this morning. Bye.